Hello viewers, in today's session we are going to discuss another important problem from integrals. So here we are given two functions. F1 x is equal to mod of x minus 1 and f2 x is equal to greatest integer of x, and we have to find the value of this integral, that is from minus 1 to 0 f1x multiplied with the square of f2 of x, right? So here we have the mod function, that is f1x is the absolute value function, that is mod of x minus 1, and f2x is the greatest integer of x. So now to evaluate this integral, we can make use of the definition of mod function and greatest integer function. So the definition of mod function and definition of greatest integer function can easily lead us to the value of this integral, right? Now see, a mod function is defined like this: mod of p is equal to positive p whenever p is greater than 0, and mod of p is 0 when p is equal to 0, and mod of p is negative p when p is less than 0, right? So let us apply this definition to this function. So we have mod of x minus 1, so this is a positive x minus 1 whenever x minus 1 is greater than 0. So here p can be taken as x minus 1. So here x minus 1 is greater than 0, then mod of x minus 1 is positive x minus 1. So from this inequality we have x greater than 1, right? And mod of x minus 1 is equal to 0 whenever x minus 1 is equal to 0, that is x is equal to 1. And this is mod x minus 1 is equal to negative x minus 1 whenever x minus 1 is less than 0, and this implies x is less than 1, right? So in this problem the important thing is to make use of this part of the definition, right? That is mod of p is equal to negative p when p is less than 0. So here we'll make use of this part of the definition, right? So here x varies from minus 1 to 0, right? So we have x belonging to the interval that is minus 1 to 0. So here we have 0 and here we have minus 1. So let us take this integral as I. So when we vary x from minus 1 to 0, then all the values of x are obviously less than 1, because all the x are falling between minus 1 and 0, right? So here x is less than 1, so all the values of x falling in this interval are less than 1. So here mod of x minus 1 is it can be written as negative of x minus 1 when x is less than 1, because here the limits of integration are from minus 1 to 0, right? So now this integral I can be written as minus 1 to 0, and f1x is mod of x minus 1, and here f2 of x is the greatest integer of x square, right? Okay, so now we can replace mod of x minus 1 as negative x plus 1, right? So here we have minus 1 to 0, and here we have minus x plus 1. And now let us see this function, that is greatest integer of x. Now here we have x greater than or equal to minus 1 but less than 0. So whenever x is greater than or equal to minus 1 but less than 0, then by definition of greatest integer function, the value of greatest integer of x is equal to minus 1, right? So here we'll replace greatest integer of x by minus 1, so we have minus 1 square and dx. So here we have used the definition of greatest integer function when x is greater than or equal to -1 but less than 0, then the greatest integer of x is equal to -1. Similarly, when x is greater than or equal to -2 but less than -1, then the greatest integer of x is equal to -2. And similarly, when x is greater than or equal to say 2 but less than 3, then the greatest integer of x is equal to 2, right? So here we have used the definition of greatest integer function. So x greater than or equal to -1 but less than 0, the greatest integer of x is equal to -1, because here the limits of integration vary from -1 to 0. So now we can simplify. We have -1 to 0. -1 square is +1, so we have simply minus x plus 1 and dx. Now the integral of minus x plus 1 is simply minus x square over 2, and the integral dx is here simply x, and limits are from -1 to 0. So let us substitute the limits and we'll take the difference. So when x is equal to 0, both these terms are 0 here, and when we have x is equal to -1, then we have minus 1 square is positive, so we have -1 over 2, and then here we have -1, right? So this is 0, and here we have -1 over 2 minus 1 is -3 over 2. So this is a minus minus plus, so we have 3 over 2. So the value of this integral is equal to 3 divided by 2, that is simply 1.5.